Hey everyone, Mr. MC here. Welcome back to another Gran Turismo sim video where I'm attempting to lap the Nürburgring Nordschleife with every single car. And for today's car, we have the Nissan Skyline GTS-R R31. So I'm actually not going to talk too much about the car itself because I have a cute little story about this car. So in Gran Turismo 7, there's this one event called the Historic Sports Car Masters that takes place at the Nordschleife. And for some reason, I ended up finding this event to be my comfort combination. So what I mean by that is that like if I have a long day or if I just want to chill out, like I'll just whip up Gran Turismo 7 and then just load this specific combination and just do the race. Like I'm not trying to be fast, but it's like for some reason like I just find that specific event pretty comforting. And eventually I made a build for the R31 for this specific race where it just felt so nice to drive around on, especially for 580 performance points. So this was kind of like a match made in heaven. And whenever I felt like doing that specific race, I'd always end up going with the R31 because that build that I had, it just worked so well. Now, unfortunately, I was a bit of a dum-dum because one day I was clearing out the garage and I accidentally sold that specific car. So I need to try to find out what I did to that car to try to recreate it again. So this car may not be as mean or even as memorable as the R32, the R33, and the R34, but just me using this car for that specific event, which I just find it really comforting, gives me a bit of a soft spot for the R31. But now let's go ahead and take a quick look at the default tune for the R31 GTS-R. So unlike the R32, the R33, and the R34, the R31 GTS-R is actually a front engine rear wheel drive car, so no, it is not an all wheel drive car. And this R31 has a 2-liter inline 6 engine that produces 207 horsepower and just under 181 feet-pound of torque. This car has covered soft tires, and even though this car has a rear wing, it produces no downforce. And last but not least, the R31 GTS-R is a 5-speed. So now let's get this car started and see how fast it can lap the Nürburgring Nordschleife. So I will admit one thing, I think when I had the 580 performance point tune for the R31, it felt really great to drive, and I think that may have spoiled me because when I started to drive the R31 fully stock, yeah, it kind of felt a little disappointing to drive. And again, that's probably because I spoiled myself before I recorded this video. But yeah, like this car, it just feels kind of sluggish to drive. You get on the throttle and it's like it doesn't necessarily do as much. However, one thing that I did notice is that when you're slowing down for some of these corners, especially if you try to downshift just before you start to turn, this car will really try to step out on you. So that is something that you do have to really keep in mind, because once this car starts to step out, it can be a bit difficult to try to recover this car. I mean, even right there, the car stepped out just a little bit. But I think at some point after the armbar corner, so like the hairpin that's eventually coming up, sometime after that, like you'll see the car really try to step out. And so that's something that you have to really be careful about if you're driving this car fully stock. I mean, yeah, other than that, yeah, it just felt a little disappointing to drive. I was hoping that this car would drive a bit faster, but it just feels a bit sluggish. I'm not saying it's a bad car, it just feels a bit disappointing to drive. coming in towards the end of the lap, we're going to go ahead and go through the final corner. And with this, the Nissan Skyline R31 GTS-R gets an 8 minutes and 26.960 second lap time. And unfortunately, this puts it at the bottom of the list, ranking 7th place behind the Pontiac GTO, the Judge. But that's going to be it for this video. If you did like the video, please do hit the like and the subscribe button. If there's a car that you'd like to suggest for me to use, let me know in the comments down below. But that's going to be it from me. So this is Mr. MCA, and I'll see you in the next video.